everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Dawkins on Duke. This week we have Mr. Cool Gerald Henderson, former Dookie. Actually, just got his degree a couple years back, I think. Went back and finished it. Talk about everything from his high school, college, NBA career. Had to get a little bit of golf talk in. He's a big golfer. So if you're liking it, please leave a like, a comment, subscribe, and reach out to me on Twitter, Dre_Dawkins. Let me know who you want to hear from next. We hope you enjoy, and we'll see you. All right, and today we have one of the coolest cats in the world, Mr. Gerald Henderson. Thanks for coming on.
Dre, thanks, man. Appreciate you having me, bro.
For sure. All right, so how we start this podcast off is we got to get your welcome to Duke moment.
Oh, man. Where do you start? I mean, I had a great visit. I was able to be a part of Lance Thomas's visit, which was like so much fun. I don't know if we could really talk about these things on this podcast.
Yeah.
But great times. Was excited to come to Duke. I'd say, when we started games my freshman year, it was a welcome to Duke. I think once we hit ACC and really realized how tough it was going to be to compete in the ACC, especially as a young team, a young, inexperienced team, we had a lot of learning to do. So just coming to the ACC and really seeing how good these guys were and how much work you really got to put in to compete on that high level every single night.
Yeah. All right, so we take it back to Philly, to high school. And I was actually just looking, trying to find some stuff on you on Wikipedia, and saw you lettered in like 4 or 5 different sports.
Yeah.
What made you want to, participate in so many sports?
I came from, growing up to just liking all kind of different sports, man. My dad obviously played basketball, played in the NBA for 13 years, won 3 NBA championships, but he was a guy that did the same thing. And he always felt that playing multiple sports and not just honing in on one, especially at a young age, helped you develop skills in all of them. So if you're playing basketball, as your primary sport, but then in the fall time you're playing football, which I did for a couple of seasons, you can get your toughness up. You just learn how to play hurt, how to play sore, how to take a hit, how to learn how to fall, all these things that kind of intermingle with basketball as well. I used to play golf, which I do now almost every day. But you just learn mental toughness in golf. Like really, you learn preparation, you learn putting time in and practicing and improving. You learn how to keep your cool, which I'm not sure I did that a lot as a basketball player, but I might have wore off over time.
Yeah.
But I played soccer. I played them all, and so ran track, did the whole thing. So I thought they helped me just overall, in many different facets for basketball.
Right. So outside of basketball, what would you say in high school was your favorite sport to participate in?
I'd definitely say golf was my favorite sport to participate in, because I started at a very young age, and it's a game that it's so rewarding if you put time in and you actually take the time to improve, and you can improve if you put the time in. Some sports, if you're just not, you just don't have the talent, you may not see improvement.
Right.
But golf's one of those things. If you don't have to be some kind of special athlete, you just have to.
Not at all.
You just got to put the reps in. And I was able to do that and play junior tournaments as a kid, and got to high school, and a year or two in, I had to make the decision. It was time to focus in on one sport, and so I did that with basketball. But I figured when I turn this age, when I'm retired and have more time on my hands, and basketball isn't my focus, then I can play for the rest of my life. So that's what I plan to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, golf is one of those cool sports because if you look at the tour, you got guys, from your Dustin Johnsons, who are these, big, huge, tall athletes, to, a guy like Rory, who's a little bit smaller, but, he can still bomb it. And so, in basketball, the bigger guys, stronger guys, more athletic guys are what you see a lot. But golf, I mean,
spread out.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, you'll see. I mean, Dustin Johnson's a big athletic guy, but you got little guys who can hit it just as far as him.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's got to do with that, and just like you can be 260 pounds, right? It doesn't matter, as long as you got, I mean, there's a million things that go into being a good golfer, but skill, I think, more than any sport is necessary in golf. Like basketball, I mean, me as a basketball player, I had skills. I was an okay ball handler, right? I was a really good mid-range shooter, not so great from three. I did when I got older. Really good defender. But it didn't take an incredible amount of skill, right, for me. I was like an elite athlete. So that took me lots of places. Yeah. But skill-wise, there's some of the things guys are doing nowadays with the basketball. I'm just like, I wouldn't even think about. Why would you do that? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Why take all them dribbles when I can take two? You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah, absolutely.
But golf, if you don't have skill, you don't have a chance.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, for sure. So you played with Wayne Ellington, who ended up at Carolina in high school. What was that like? Who committed first? Were you guys trading jabs back and forth, as the season was going on, stuff like that?
Well, I always looked at myself as a leader, man. So I was the one that committed first.
Okay, I got you.
And, Wayne kind of figured he would go to Carolina after me. I considered going to Carolina, though. They, there's this huge rivalry, and everybody thinks like Duke hates Carolina and all that stuff. And that may be so for the fans. But I actually, when I was getting recruited by Carolina, I like what they had going on over there. I don't know if you spent time over there or if they recruited you, but like, first off, the campus is beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. They got pretty girls over there. Okay. I spent a lot of time over there as a Duke student. May I add
that? A lot of us did.
Yeah, man. Especially because Wayne was there. I was spending time with him. And then, I loved Roy, man. I thought Roy was such a great guy. I see him till this day. He still treats me the same way he did when I was 16, 17 years old, man. Sit there and just talk about stuff. He's a golfer.
Yep.
So, man, I got a real funny story about Roy. All through my recruitment, he had talked about how much golf he played, all these courses he'd been to, how low his handicap was, all these guys he's played with. And so on my visit there, we go see most of the campus, and he takes us, he's like, we're going out to get some lunch. So he takes us out to lunch, and they got this whole spread out on the driving range. Okay. They got a course on campus there. Really nice. So I was like, okay, this dude's done his research a little bit. Right? Okay. So I eat, and then, the golf coach is out there, and I guess they had some clubs out there. I take a 7-iron, okay, and just start striping them. Okay. Take a 4-iron, the same thing. Pull out a driver through the driving range, okay? And from the back, man, you could hear someone yell. It was the coach, and he goes, he's like, "Hey, Roy, if you don't want him, I'll take him." And so next, Roy gets up there, okay?
Yeah.
Dog, all this bragging, everything he did, I tell him about every time I see him. All this bragging he did, he gets up there and, lie to you not, he shanked 10 balls.
Oh my goodness!
Straight right into the woods. I lied to you not, man. I said, Roy, come on now. You can't gas up your whole golf career and then do that. I think he was a little nervous because his face was getting red and stuff. But coolest part about the story is Dean Smith, who was alive at the time, he came towards the end. He came out to the driving range. He was walking up, and my dad, because he's an old school baller, man. Dean Smith was everything to his generation. So that was really cool to meet him, and for my dad to meet him. So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't like hate Carolina, but like twice a year,
sure,
maybe 3 times a year.
No, we're gonna go at it.
Yeah, for sure. Like, do I want to win, for bragging rights and this, that, and the third? Absolutely. But, for 363 days of the year, they're fine.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays because so many of us played together, come up through the AAU high school ranks together.
Right.
And so, you're like friends.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe the UNC fans like hate me more than others because of isolated incident.
Yeah. That's probably true.
It's all good.
We won't get
everybody
into
ain't gonna love you, man.
No, that's absolutely true. So JD, Johnny was there coaching when you were there. You have any good Johnny conditioning stories?
Oh man. How much time you got? Man. Well, Johnny was tough on me. Him and my dad have known each other for years, played against each other. Yeah. I just saw a clip on Instagram the other day. They're playing against each other. So he was tough on me when I came in. And, he put me through the ringer. Conditioning was a big thing. As a freshman, I wasn't used to the level of conditioning that you had to be in. So
none of us were.
Oh man, he put me through stuff, after practice. I remember oh my gosh. I mean, this is multiple times we would do this drill, but I don't know if they did it when you were there, but it was, we were working on like boxing out, toughness, like going to the offensive board, like all in one drill. Okay. So they put me on the wing. Okay. There'd be 2 managers underneath the basket with pads. Okay. He would throw a shot up. I mean, this is just like, this is abusive, right? I don't know if they do this. I don't know if you could do this anymore. He'd throw a shot up. I'd have to run in there. Okay. While the managers are just taking my head off with these pads. Okay. This isn't like push you. This is like, because they're telling them like, yo.
Yeah, hit them. Yep.
Yeah. So you'd have to go get the ball, okay, after you don't been hit a million times. And then you got to go back up, okay, and finish while they're just destroying. Yeah. No fouls. So then I would end up just like hurting them.
Right, yeah.
We had to stop the drill because I'd be throwing elbows and like kicking. And I mean, you're just not going to hit me. Like, I don't care what drill you got set up. It's just not going down like you envision it. So we had to stop that drill.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I had to ask, man, because Johnny is legendary for some of the drills and conditioning he would put guys through.
Yeah, there was one drill. He told me he had never heard one of his players ever tell him this. And so he had me doing some kind of running, man. And this had been months of this, right? Mm-hmm. And he had me, I guess I missed a free throw. He had me running again. And I looked at him, I said, I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. And I sat down on a chair and I'm sitting over there just like, you get to the point where you just like, nah, man.
Yeah, your body says, nah, that's enough.
Nah, man, what are we doing this for? Like, we got a game. I'm sure we had a game the next day.
Yeah.
Nah, man. I was committed. I was committed to it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be. If you're gonna do that, you gotta be.
At Duke, because there's not much moving. You resist. You already know.
Yeah, you're bolder than me. I I probably wanted to say that a few times, but it never was audible.
Yeah. Nah, I told him I ain't doing it. But guess what? We stayed in that gym until I did it. So, Johnny's I'm happy for his success. He ended up leaving
Absolutely.
after my second year, and he went to Stanford, and obviously he put time in as an assistant, man. When you go to somewhere big like Stanford, it's a big deal. I didn't really realize it at the time, but he's been able to do some pretty special things, and it was cool seeing a couple years ago. He's coaching, and his son's in the game, and they're playing Duke. That's killed us.
Killed
us. I was like, yo, why didn't we recruit him?
Yeah, I know. Why is he not? Why he don't have a Duke jersey on?
That's what I'm saying. Like, John Nolan, what y'all doing over there? So that was pretty cool. But
yeah, for sure.
it's all love, man. You go through some of these times, man. College is tough, man. College is tough, man. It's not something you're used to. It builds character. But it's all part of our journey.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a lot of other stuff seem pretty simple in comparison. So going into like your first few games at Duke, what kind of nerves did you have, or was it just old hat for you?
I was probably pretty nervous, man.
Yeah.
You don't know what really to expect. I mean, I was probably one of the in my class there, I was the highest ranked player. So John was right there. John Shire was right there. But there were a lot of expectations on us because we had just lost J.J. Redick. We had lost Sheldon Williams. And those guys, though they didn't make it to a Final Four, they were, 1-2 in the nation. They had guys that just turned pro. They were right there at the top of the ACC. So, I don't think they were prepared for the let off that we kind of gave there as our freshman season. So, I can't really remember exactly the first game, but I'm sure I was nervous.
Yeah.
And because I struggled a lot through my freshman year. So, especially in the start. So,
yeah,
that wasn't a fun time.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. So speaking of your, struggling your freshman year, you made a pretty big jump from your freshman to sophomore year in terms of, your production and becoming a every night starter. What were some of the keys for you to make that big jump going from freshman to sophomore year?
I didn't like the way that things went my freshman year. It's a lot of, not knowing when I'm going to play, day to day, different guys jumping into a spot I felt like I was in.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to make it very clear going into my sophomore year that there's nobody on this team that you're going to play in front of me, and a lot of that had to do with me and how I was performing, but I didn't want to give him Coach K or any of the other coaches a chance to be like, yo, such and such should be playing over G.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually ready to leave after my freshman year. I was going to probably go back home, like go to Nova or something. That was my second choice, my second college choice. But I didn't want to quit. I was all set to leave, man, after we left there for the summer. Yeah. I got back home and I was on a mission, man. I really was. Just training, conditioning, working on my skills, just training with a whole bunch of pros that summer.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I came back that summer, I was coming for everybody's neck. I probably got in about 2-3 fights that summer. Nolan and John will tell you, because they record every pickup session.
Yep.
So every time, because John started most of our freshman year, but there'd be times that John will go in the game when I thought I should have been in the game. He's playing the 3 or he's playing the 4. I said, no, it ain't happening no more.
Yeah.
So every pickup game, I was coming for him.
Yep.
Me and Nolan got into it. I mean, I was a menace. That's why I told you I didn't really keep my cool on the court.
Yeah.
I had me and John got into a fight. I think I had John in a headlock. He probably wouldn't explain it like this. I had Nolan pinned up against the wall in the locker room.
Oh, so yeah. So you just a bully.
Yeah, I was being a bully, man, because I wasn't going for that. I just, I wasn't having it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just was kind of, pissed off from the season before.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just, that's the way I dealt with things.
Yeah. Hey, it worked out.
Yeah.
So skip ahead to junior year at Maryland. One of the most explosive dunks in Duke history. Nolan goes down with a concussion. Talk to us about that play. You go down the middle, go crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen you show that much emotion. Yeah, because as everyone can see, you are Mr. Cool. So talk about that play.
That play, so that was a big time ACC matchup. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine now playing an ACC season as Duke and not playing Maryland twice a year.
Right.
Seems odd. But, I mean, that's an old classic ACC matchup. We hadn't played. That was the first time we played them. They were up there nationally ranked and certainly in the ACC. And Grievous Vasquez was their best player, and he was talking junk. And even though I really like Grievous. I really, really like him. Hell of a player. But so, it was a Thursday night ESPN game.
Yep.
And so this kid that set the screen on Nolan on a full court ball screen, and obviously Zoobs was in the game. He was not up.
Yeah.
Tell Nolan that there was a screen there. But the kid that set the screen had been kind of known for dirty play.
Yeah.
And it's come ironic for me to say somebody else plays dirty. But he took him out, and I saw Nolan hit him hard. I think he hit his head on the ground maybe. And it pissed me off, man. Yeah. And I was just playing okay to that point. But I played better when something's bothering me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so I was just couldn't wait for that to happen, because now I got something to be pissed at. And on top of that, Nolan's like my brother. We've known each other since we were little kids, man.
Yeah. And
so that happens. I'm getting pissed off on the bench, and it's our ball, and Coach K ran corner for me, which is a play I feel like it's been at Duke for 30 years.
Forever.
They still running.
I feel like you could get guys from 30 years of Duke and run in the same offense, no problem.
Mm-hmm. So he ran corner, and Coach goes, before we left the huddle, he was like, "We're running corner, and G, go effing dunk it." And I was like, all right. I was pissed off, man. And what he told me to do, I just went and did.
Yeah.
And then you see afterwards, I did a whole stomp and turn around, because I just was letting out all this anger at one time. And, it turned out to be a pretty cool play. We won the game, and they're still showing the clip.
Oh yeah,
cool stuff.
Definitely still showing the clip. I had to watch it before we got on.
I love watching it to see everybody on the bench's reaction. To it.
Yeah.
Like Coach Will at the.
Oh yeah, Coach Will. Yeah. Coach Will's the best. Coach Will reactions are the best.
Oh man, because he don't always react to everything. Right?
Yeah.
So to see him get up like that, I knew he was hyped just like me. So and that's my man too.
Yeah, Coach Will's the best.
Mm-hmm.
So then after your junior year, you have a decision, to come back to your senior year or leave. Aside from getting as far away from John as possible, what went into that decision?
Well, yeah, I mean, certainly that was number one, man. And I made a decision the summer before to make him my roommate. And that may have been one of my worst college decisions ever.
Yeah.
Because he puts the air, it's the middle of the winter time. We'll put it down to a smooth 67. Who does that? What do we have heat for? So
He's a Chicagoan.
he's weird, man. He's real
Yeah.
weird. Um, so but the big decision was number one, man. I wanted to be a pro. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to experience the college stuff. You commit to college. It's a 4-year commitment, but I wasn't I wasn't a two and go kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's 3, it could be 4 years. Then that's it. For me, it just happened that I had a special junior year, and I just felt like it was time to go.
Yeah.
I thought that particular group had kind of ran its toll, and we had some good teams. I felt like my sophomore year we were good. My junior year we had been really good. I think we could have been better sooner had we made some of the changes we made. Like Elliott Williams only started really playing halfway through the season. John ended up playing point guard halfway, like, in the middle of ACC play. I thought that had we done these things earlier, we would have had a lot more chance to develop. Nolan ended up playing the 2.
Yeah.
Right. They were trying to push him as his point guard, and he just naturally wasn't that. They were taking away his instincts,
Right.
and that's to score the basketball, which he could. And then pass second. We had enough unselfish guys on the team, or we didn't need a selfish, set-up point guard.
Right.
So I felt like, our time had kind of ran out, and really what happened is they needed me to get out of there so they could go win it the next year.
Yeah.
That's what really needed to happen. I guess, I was ball hogging too much, but regardless of anything, that's how teams work, man. You move a guy, as you see it every year with the NBA. Like, we might need to improve here. We might need to do this. The team chemistry may be better. Like, as good as I felt like I was and contributed to the team, a different mix of guys.
Yeah.
And one more year of experience was kind of the formula.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I got to say thank you for leaving, because that fast forwarded my track in the Duke, and I got me a little ring. But yeah, it is. Thank you. I really appreciate
we
it.
Should share that, Rick. How much did you play on that team? Huh?
10 minutes a game, maybe. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is interesting because, kind of like you said, just little tweaks here and there. And then I don't really think that team was what we were till like halfway towards the end of the year, when we really, really started figuring out like what we were going to be. And, I think for Zoobs, something clicked in Zoobs. And, everybody just knew where, what position they were going to play and what role they were going to play, and everybody was fine with it. And we just kind of ran with it, and, got a little lucky, avoided Kentucky in the tournament.
It's always
John
a
Wall and
little
DeMarcus
luck,
Cousins,
man,
Eric Bledsoe
in that tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to have a little bit of luck, and just having those older guys, 5 juniors and seniors who have been through, especially the senior class, who have been through a lot of losing and just didn't want to lose. So then you make the jump to the Hornets, formerly known as the Bobcats. What adjustments did you have to make to your game going from college to the NBA?
Well, really, for my whole rookie season in the NBA, I ain't had to make any adjustments because my ass was on the bench. Only adjustments I had to make was like get up and move to another seat. Somebody was coming off the floor. So, I played on a team with it was a playoff team. First time the Bobcats at the time had made the playoffs. And, Gerald Wallace, who was an all-star, Steven Jackson, who was a borderline all-star. We had Tyson Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
We had Ray Felton, Larry Hughes. We had a good little squad, man. Boris Diaw, Nazi Muhammad, a bunch of vet guys. And so was Matt Carroll on that team? I can't remember. But and then Larry Brown was the coach, who's obviously a Hall of Fame coach, but he don't really like young players.
Yeah.
Right. Especially young players that can score. He likes young players to go in and just really contribute on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Because he's a Carolina guy. They do a kind of hierarchy kind of thing. And, he wanted the older guys to be able to shine because they put their time in, which I can't disagree with. But regardless, that put me on the bench.
Yeah.
And so when we played in like maybe 40 games, and, people always ask me, well, what'd you learn your rookie year? Like, what are some things you learned? The only thing I really learned was that I do not like being on the bench.
Right.
I hate it. So then it was, for me, another summer of grinding and like,
I'm not going to do this
for
again.
names. Like, so like we got back there in the summertime working out. I was destroying everybody. Training camp, I was coming for people's neck, just like, because I wasn't going through another year of just chilling. Like, I work out every day, and then I'm not going to play in the game. So, that's not fun. And then I'm watching y'all, right? Like, have a good season.
Yeah.
Well, one cool thing that Larry Brown did do was he let me go to the Final Four. He let me go to the championship game, and we had a game the next day. He's like, basically, I'm not gonna play you, so like,
yeah. So you do whatever you want.
Go. And so I flew there, and that was an awesome game to watch. And you guys won, and then obviously, like, I was on the team. I got obliterated that night. And I remember like flying back. We had shoot around where I had to work out before the game. I'm just like, I just reek of alcohol.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
And but he didn't play me though, which
so it's fine.
Was okay with.
Yeah, that night, that was cool.
Right. Yeah, those were good times, man. But I learned, I was like, I'm not gonna do this. And then my next year, 20 games into the season, he got fired. Paul Silas takes over, and he gives me a chance to play. And I'm thankful for him forever for just giving me confidence, man. Like, every day, he's such a good dude, man. His son, Steven, will do well because they got great personalities. But just giving me confidence, just throwing me out there and giving me my first shot to play, and that kind of jump-started my career.
Yeah. I think I know the answer to this question because I know you, but was there someone yeah.
Who else?
That's it. That's the answer to that question.
What was the question?
Who you modeled your game after, who you looked up to?
Definitely Kobe, man. I mean, before Kobe, it was probably MJ just as a kid. I used to shave my head bald in the summertime, just to try to be like MJ. It was probably a mistake because, my baby hairs didn't come back like they're supposed to. When I got to high school, you feel me? But, Kobe, man, just still get emotional thinking about him, man. It's so sad, but, he's from Philly. I saw him play as a little kid, going to Lower Marion and going with my dad and just watching him play. And then, we played the same position. So just stealing his moves and, his work ethic and just his swagger. That was all, that was all guys like around our age, wanted to be like as Kobe. And, Wayne, me and Wayne used to be in the gym for hours just practicing stuff we just saw on YouTube at the time. That's all we had to watch. but just
Mm-hmm.
practicing stuff, crossover, pull up, everything's mid range, pull up threes, everything, man. He was everything for us.
Yeah. And I feel like this is something people don't really hear athletes talk about a lot, but talk about a little bit about the difficulties of, going through those injuries that you were dealing with, and then, that ended up kind of, forcing your hand into retirement a
Yeah.
little bit early.
So I tore my labrum in my hip when I was in college. It was a freshman year, just messing around in what's that gym on the other side of Card?
Card? Oh, no, not Card.
It's like kind of Wilson.
Wilson?
Me, John, like Lance,
Yeah.
and we were in there messing around. And there was a wet spot, man, on the ground. I went up for a dunk and like did a split, tore my labrum in my left hip,
Oof.
sat out for maybe a month. This is before the season. And then, I was all right, but then I started getting real bad tendonitis in my knee, and then kind of played through that. And then my second year in the league, after that, I got my, somebody look at my knee. They couldn't do anything for it, but then they said, hey, look at your hip, because we usually see a correlation between the two. And they look at my hip, and my labrum was like down to the nub, right? And so I had to get surgery on that. And then I was good for a couple of years, and then my hip started bothering me. It had never bothered me before that. And so probably, 6 years in? Yeah, my last year with the Hornets, I was in a lot of pain, man. I was taking injections and steroid stuff, all that stuff, just to get the pain out of there. And I get traded to Portland. I get another surgery because it was killing me too much, kind of to clean it out. That didn't really help. It just kind of moved the pain to another spot. In between that time, I had 3 wrist surgeries. And then, so finally after Portland, Philly signs me for a year. I go through hell trying to make it through that whole season. And, after that, I tried to figure out what I'm going to do, because I know I can't continue to play with this kind of pain. And so then I get a resurfacing procedure done. I take myself out for a year, and which is where they put a little metal in your hip. But the doctor, based off of the research they've seen, he thought I could play. And so I said, man, this is my only hope, because when you have injuries, man, and you may know, it's just like, it's not just the physical pain that you're getting.
Yeah.
Day in, day out, after, with pain, like it wears on you, man. Like I just
absolutely.
be irritable all the time. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you just don't want to hurt. You want to be able to walk and move and not be hurt.
Yeah, I mean, this is an injury, like you bend over to put socks on, like you can feel a sharp pain in your hip. Anything you do out on the court, like you got to be prepared for it. So it got to a point where like my, where I'm at in life, like my life conditions right now, like, I may be making, millions right now, but it may not be worth it, actually, because I'm just like, I got kids, I got a wife, like I'm always irritable, I'm always in pain, I never want to do anything else. So I got the surgery, I came back, man. I had this third surgery, man. I felt like I was 23 again, 24, okay? Do all these workouts, getting ready to sign with Golden State, which would have been a dope thing, man. They didn't win this year. This was 2018, the year they lost.
Yeah.
They didn't have KD yet, or maybe it was 17. I can't remember.
16.
And they had DeMarcus Cousins, and man, I was working out. My Achilles had been a little sore leading up to that. I worked out for San Antonio. It was bothering me. Man, I went to cut down the lane, and man, I felt like my foot unbuckled.
Yeah.
Just like click, click.
Mm.
And then I kind of looked back because I felt like maybe somebody had like jumped on my back. Like, people feel like they get kicked or something.
Yep.
All I saw down there was the other goal. I looked down on my foot. I couldn't move my foot. I was like, damn, I know what this is.
Yeah.
And I called my pops. I had just talked to him about like doing a deal with them and stuff just the night before. I was like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tough stuff, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to put a smile back on your face and we're going to start talking about a little bit of golf.
Please. I can do this all day.
Yeah. So golf, I mean, why, still to this day, is golf still a part of your life?
Oh, man. Well, first off, believe it or not, like, you play basketball inside, but I'm actually an outdoor kind of cat, man. I like being outside, man. I like fishing, like going on fishing trips.
Oh, so UNLT or
we haven't gone fishing yet, right? But we talked about it many a time.
Yeah.
But I'm an outdoors cat, man. I like being outside, just fresh air, sunlight, warm weather. Like I'm down. But I've been playing golf since I was a kid. My dad got me out there. It's a beautiful game, just like me. It's difficult. It's rewarding. It's like, I could play the same golf course every day, man.
Yeah. I think one of the coolest things about golf is, for amateurs like us, no matter where you are, everybody's like mindset is the same. So you could be a scratch guy and shoot 72 and leave, the same way that me, shooting 80 leaves, because you're always chasing
your best score.
This next thing, you're always chasing. So, a guy who shoots 100 and a guy who shoots 70, walk off with the same mindset, like, oh man, I got 70, but I should
that's good for me.
Make a couple putts. I'd have had a 66, like, so it's cool because everybody is constantly just chasing. And even, I was thinking about this the other day out on the range. I'm hitting shots and, I'll hit good ones and then hit one that's okay, it's a little right. And I'm like, oh, but then I'm like, man, like 3 years ago, that would have been like, I would have loved that shot.
Right. Yep. No, it's fast. Yeah. When you're about to lead a range and you say, all right, let me not leave. It's the same like you leaving the gym. All right, let me not leave, till I hit a good shot. Okay.
Yeah.
Then like if it's my driver, typically be my driver. Oh, okay. Let me hit 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
hit 2 in a row. You're like, all right, I'm really nice if I could do 3 in a row.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that.
Yeah. It's hard to leave, man, because it's like you said, you get the 1 and you get the 2, and you're like, I'm in a groove now, so I gotta really hone this action in real quick.
Yep. Yeah.
And then you look up and you're there for an hour.
Right. But then you go to the course and it's nothing like you just did on the range.
No. Nope. It's gone. Completely gone.
Yep.
Completely
it's
gone.
Just
golf is weird like that, man, because I'll feel I have it. Like I've had days where I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I've got it. I'm gonna be good at golf. And then, 2 days later, I'm 13 shots worse. And it's like, what happened? I thought I figured it out.
No, it can never be figured out. I think like the pros,
right.
They're still on that hunt.
Absolutely.
Justin Johnson is a +5, +7, let's say. I mean, he's probably not hunting to be a +8, but for him on his level, like he's thinking legacy type stuff. He's trying to, so he knows where his game's got to be at a certain level for him to accomplish, winning all 4 majors or whatever it is. Yeah. So I think this summer, what I'm going to do, because as I found it since I've been retired, is it's difficult for me to like work out, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, bro, I used to like work out hard, okay, on a schedule,
Mm-hmm.
regimen, because you got an endpoint in sight. You're going towards something, and that's the games,
Right.
right? Okay, like I'm trying to be in my best shape possible so I can perform at my best,
Right.
or I'm doing all these things to prevent injury, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, where's the game?
Right. Yeah. There's no there's nothing out there. It's
Right.
just you working out for health.
And I didn't particularly enjoy working out all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you don't enjoy conditioning.
Yeah.
Like you might eat it up and have a good attitude about
Yeah.
it, but
But
like
you're not looking forward to
hell no.
it.
So, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like, I've realized I was like, I need a game, man. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
you ain't gonna see me on a basketball court
Mm-hmm.
ever again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ever again. But I think I'm gonna I've already decided, but I'm gonna start getting on the amateur trail
Okay.
golf.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna start doing that. I mean, there's tons of local stuff you can do,
Yeah.
but hopefully I'm good enough to where I can qualify for some of these national events and just see how good I am, man. And doing that, you gotta be in shape for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least I
That
do.
walking is tough.
The walk in, but then just if I want to be at my best in terms of golfing, like there's a lot of practice that goes into that,
Yeah.
like hitting
Absolutely.
balls and just
Absolutely.
the grind. So I got to be in shape for that. I've had so many injuries, man, that my back hurts, my hip
Mm-hmm.
hurts, my wrist hurts. Like, I've stopped moving here for a while and just been playing golf, and that's beating me up.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. What's your handicap at?
I don't discuss these things on
All
public
right, all right,
on
all right,
public
all right, all right.
airways.
I figured I just.
Nah, you may find it in the gin handicap
All
system
right,
at
yeah,
a like a 1.5, maybe a
yeah,
2.
I'll have to check that out. Are you
You
under
know,
Gerald or are you under your real name?
Gerald Henderson Jr.
Oh, okay. Who's your favorite golfer right now?
It's always going to be Tiger.
Yeah,
It's hard to take that crown away.
yeah,
But I enjoy watching DJ, Justin Thomas, and Rory when he's on.
yeah, yeah.
He's got his ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I think he's kind of down a little bit, but he had a good. I don't know, was it this year or last year? He had a good year.
Mm-hmm.
But DJ, like, I don't know, man. If he stay where he's at,
It's gonna be tough.
gonna be tough, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
He hits the ball too far. He hits it too accurate. And then, for the longest time, to talk about his putting. I mean, his putting's improved so much. He don't miss within 10 feet. It's gonna be hard to beat him, man. And then he's just like he act like he don't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care at all. It's like whatever. Whatever, 62 Sunday at a major, whatever. It's
right.
And,
What's his name? Rory described him so well, I thought. He's just like, his attitude is see ball, hit ball.
Yep.
Right? See ball, putt ball.
Yep. Yeah, he's dope because he if you ever watch him, obviously you don't get to like watch their whole process a lot, but if you ever get the chance to watch him, he hits the ball, walks up to the ball, he gets the number, he picks up a club, he hits it, and goes to the next one. Like, it's
man.
So many guys are like, what's this? What's the slope? What's the green doing? What's the wind doing? What's my lie? Is it uphill? Is it downhill?
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, what's the number, man? Like,
right.
give me the club, I'll hit it, and I'm gonna go hit it again.
You would think that people get this impression of him because he is kind of nonchalant and lax, and he talks with like that little Southern drawl.
Mm-hmm.
That there's not a lot going on up there or in here. And I just think that's just it's the opposite of what's going on.
Absolutely, he's probably super competitive.
Yeah, I think that he actually is like that. Like he just doesn't show it outwardly.
Yeah.
He doesn't care to talk about it. He don't care to like really show it. You know, he's just in it to just kick your ass.
Mm-hmm. Which is scarier to me than the guy
killer,
who's
man.
than the guy who's rah 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 rah. Like
DeChambeau. That's your boy. I actually like DeChambeau, man. Yeah. I think he's a little weird.
A little bit, but I mean, I like the fact that he causes so much, conversation and commotion. I mean, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Who's your?
He's good.
Who's your early pick for the Masters in April?
Masters. Well, depending on Tiger's condition, he's week to week with his back, man. You got to catch him on a good week. I think when's the Masters?
April.
Yeah. It'll be good weather then, January, February, March, April. Yeah, it'll be good weather then. He needs like a warm weather type scenario.
And it's Augusta, and he knows Augusta like the back of his hand.
Yeah, I probably said it's his favorite course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think so.
I mean, on a long shot, I'll take Tiger. But I got to go with Dustin again.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And what did he shoot? Did he shoot in the 20s under?
I think.
Was that too much?
Didn't he set the record?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he set the record.
I don't know. I just don't see – I see other guys there, man. I just feel like he's just like maybe a step above. Like he's not dominating like Tiger did, but like he's dominating right now, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then you got like your Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, I was gonna throw Brooks in there.
He's always gonna be there. I think he had his stretch though, and he was acting cocky. You know how he is.
Oh no, yeah. He's more outwardly like I'm the man than Dustin is. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is cool.
Absolutely.
He wear them tight shirts. I'm all with it. I like Koepka. I do like Koepka, but he how he's playing now and how his results are now is not what they were 2 years ago.
Right.
When he was talking about how Rory is not his competition because he hasn't won and stuff. He don't got the same talk now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I like Koepka, man. I like him. I like his approach to the game.
All right, what's in the bag?
Ooh, I got some trash in the bag. No, I actually don't. I'm playing with some Strixons right now. I love them, and they're not trash, but they're old. Right, they're from 2 years ago, and I'm always, it ain't the Arrow, it's the Indian type cat.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think I'm on my Instagram because I'm a brand ambassador with Strixon, right? So I'm trying to get their new stuff in my bag.
Okay.
So
you Strixon throughout?
Yeah.
Cleveland wedges?
I got Cleveland wedges, but they're under Strixon is under Cleveland.
Yeah. Come on, man.
I'm just making sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I like Strixon, man.
Yeah.
Good company. The Cleveland wedges are cool. I need a readjustment. You hit some irons for long enough. I just need some readjustments. And I've been thinking about potentially going with that, what's that TaylorMade driver, the Sim?
The Sim? Yeah, you might want to wait a week or so. Sim 2 will probably be out here soon.
Oh, before Christmas?
Might be January.
I might wait. I'm not a quick spender.
Yeah.
I still got my old driver.
What's the ball?
Driver. I'll play Strixon most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, man, that the Pro V is the Pro V for a reason.
Absolutely.
There's a clear difference in the feel when you hit it. Not to say that I can really tell that it goes further, but the feel on the from your hands to the face when you hit it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know what they got in that ball. They got some petroleum. I don't know what they got in that ball, man.
Yeah.
But you can feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been going through a few different balls, trying a few different ones. I like TaylorMade's. I like the TP5s. Testing Tiger's ball. What is it? The BXS, I think.
Was that Bridgestone?
Bridgestone, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bryson might use that one as well. But yeah, been
Mm-hmm.
going through a couple. Snell has a really good ball, the MTVX for
Who?
Snell.
That's a golf company?
Yeah, straight to consumer. No, I think the guy who runs it either did balls for Titleist or TaylorMade before, and then he just kind of made his own company now. They make good balls.
Yeah, I'm always like, okay, we can have all the equipment in the world, but
Yeah.
is your swing on plane?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you can have all the equipment and a shitty swing, and
right.
that ain't, the ball ain't gonna help you, or the club isn't gonna help you that much.
Exactly right. Can you get your club face back to here?
Right.
It's the only thing. How do we get the club back to here? Because if not, if you like that,
it's going right. I don't care what ball. Yeah, I don't care what ball you got, what club you got. It's going over there.
It is. So, but I mean, I think that, and this may kill the whole golf equipment industry. Okay. Equipment, to me, it only helps golfers that can do that.
Yeah.
Can get the club back to square and hit the ball in the middle of the club face. If you struggle doing that, you need to
get better first.
Yeah, lower your investment. Put your time investment, your sweat equity on working on your swing instead of your equipment. Yeah. And then it's like reward yourself with good clubs when you start getting better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of why I'm just now even looking at balls, because I was like, I don't, if I'm slicing everything, I don't care if I got a Pro V, if I got, or if I got a Top Flight, if my face is 10 degrees open, it's going to the right.
Right.
Let me figure that out first. And honestly, with equipment, pretty much all the major manufacturers are right at the same level. It's more so, what looks good to you, what, and what your brain reacts to more than the other thing. They're all pretty much the same.
I mean, it's across the board with a lot of things, man. Like cars, like a lot of things. The technology out here is like, who's really putting something out there that's so significantly better?
Right.
Maybe,
right.
People want to talk about these iPhones. Like, yeah. But I just heard, what was it the other day? Another company had some feature on their phone. I can't even remember now. I forget it. But I was like, damn, Apple ain't think of that.
Yeah. Well, they don't have to. They can get you. They can get you next time around. They got so much of the market. It's like, you guys come up with the ideas for us, and we'll get them on the next time around.
Right, we got that on the iPhone 16.
Yeah. Right, yeah, we'll get it.
We know you're gonna buy it.
You'll still be there. You'll still be there to buy it. So, have you got to watch any of this year's team, and what do you think about them?
I have. I think that this year is going to be a weird year for college basketball, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how they'll do things differently compared to the NBA. But I'll tell you what, man. When I saw that video of that kid collapsing yesterday, man, I was like, man, there's nothing, especially he had COVID before.
Yep.
Okay. All his teammates had it. A bunch of kids have had it. They're out there playing. I don't know if it's worth it, man. I really don't. And you heard Coach talking about it. After I saw that, I said, man, if I was that kid's parents,
that'd be it.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
For what? I'm already nice. I'm nice. I have a potential to be a pro. We're gonna go ahead and shut this down.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But with this year's team, Like I said, it's going to be a different year. I think that they're extremely young. I don't see anything particularly different than everybody else sees. They're young. They're going to have to put some time in and really learning how to compete on this level.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows how that's going to look, if they're going to, how many games they're going to get in this year, how
Yeah.
quickly they develop. But I don't know. I do feel like, we have, if not the best staff in the country.
Yeah.
So they're in the hands of people who are going to be able to develop them the quickest.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to take effort on both parts. And I think the coaches over there know that, this year is going to be challenging from a lot of aspects. So, that's what you sign up for, though, man, because you're going to get, if you want to be at Duke, and have the honor, the privilege of getting your Zion Williamsons, your RJ Barrett, you're going to have years where it doesn't look like that. And so that's when you lean on, your ability to really coach these kids and show them how to play at the college level, elite level.
Yeah, I think this is, like you said, it's a weird year, and it's going to be it's tough because they have so much youth. I think if they had a little, if they were leaning on some older guys on this team, it'd be a little bit easier. When you're not getting as many games in, you don't know when you're playing, how many games you're playing, who you're playing. Sometimes it'd be a bit easier for an older team to adjust. But like you said, they need time. They need time to get better, and they got to play games. That's just the only way to really know, what you're made of, what you can do, how you react to situations. It's just by playing games, and
yeah,
it's just going to be tough because of that, because of the kind of year it is, and how unsure everything is around games, and you're getting games canceled an hour, 2 hours before you're supposed to play, and you got teams jumping in the day before, and so it's gonna be a crazy year. But I mean, Coach had a lot of people up in arms about what he was saying, but I don't think he said anything crazy, and all he said was, let's reassess, which. I didn't know reassess was such a volatile word.
I mean, in this climate, wouldn't we be reassessing frequently
all the time?
anyways?
Yeah, she should be. You would think, yeah.
Yeah, I think that because of the timing of when he said that, they just lost 2 games, and I think because of that, it made it sound like he was just like, "Yo, let's just quit the year."
Yeah.
But I don't think that's what he meant. And if that's the result of it, then that's one thing. But it's not like he wasn't saying he wasn't, saying anything that didn't make sense.
Right. And he's been pretty consistent throughout the whole thing. Duke was one of the reasons, one of the first teams to say we're not playing in the ACC tournament last March. So, I mean, they had one of the top 10 team in the country. You don't think he wanted to play the ACC tournament, the NCAA tournament. So, I mean, I think, if you take what he said, just that moment, and under the circumstances, then sure, you could come to that conclusion. But I think if you look at what he said overall since way back in March, I think you would come to a different conclusion.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty cool that he allowed the kids to go back home and spend some time with their families, because at the end of the day, these are still, 18 to 21-year-olds. I know we see them on a national scale and kind of put them on a pedestal that makes them, superhuman at times, but they are still kids, and I think it's cool that he allowed them to go home. It's something that he likes to do every year anyway.
Right.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I think that Coach, because he has obviously coached for so long, but then because he knows of it's a different climate now, I think, than when like I came in, where the players have so much more power in terms of
for sure.
and control of their situations. Some of these top players in each class, like they don't have to go to college, right? The coaches know that, and that's just going to continue. I feel like that rule change is coming in a short period of time, so that high school players can go straight to the league. So I think he understands more than anybody. Like, hey, I've had a Zion, I had an RJ. Like those dudes came and decided to play for me. He's thankful for them. And so, I think he's got a better perspective, especially now, because, I'm sure he wants to win, but he also has this, he's accomplished a lot. Some first, second year coach who's just trying to get his program off the ground may not have the same perspective. No, we got to play. We got to play.
Right.
And I'm not sure he has that same perspective. But it's because of his circumstance. But I do feel him. Once I saw that kid fall out, man, I said, man, that ain't right, man.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's scary stuff.
For what? What's he getting paid this year?
No, not at all. Not $1.
To win a national championship. I'm sure it's probably fun. I'm sure it's a lot of fun. How much fun is it going to be without the fans?
Right. Yeah. Right.
How much fun the Final Four are going to be in an empty arena?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It could be fun, I'm sure, but
it's different.
Is it worth my life?
No, I wouldn't say
Absolutely
that. I wouldn't say that. All right, so we're gonna finish this off. Let you get back to your Henderson ventures here shortly. But before you go, I need your all-time Duke starting five and a six-man.
Ooh, all-time Duke starting five and a six-man. Okay, I think you got to go with the big dog, JD. Okay. Does this have to be position, or can we just go top five? Regardless of position.
Nah, you got to field the team.
Okay. Well, JD, I think you put him at shooting guard.
Okay. OG, triple OG.
Yep. Then you got to put Jay Williams at point guard. I would throw in like a Bobby Hurley there, because he did a little bit more winning and he was there a little bit longer. But Jay Williams was different.
Yeah, absolutely.
For a three-man, I guess would Grant Hill be considered a three-man?
Yeah, you can put him at the three.
Okay, put him at the three. I'm sure he played a lot of four, like me, which I love playing the four in college. Oh my gosh, these big slow dudes, man. Oh, I couldn't wait till he put me at the four.
Yeah. Matchup nightmare.
So then I think, would you consider Christian Laettner a center or a power forward?
I think he could go at either front court spot.
Okay, so that gives me some freedom there.
Yeah.
I'll put him for now at center.
Okay.
And then I think that if I'm thinking correctly, okay, man, this has gotten slightly tough. But I think I got to put Battier at the four.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just talking about Duke guys, and he went and won championships, Battier, man. Who's your daddy Battier?
Yeah.
He had
that makes sense.
A career. I mean, I don't know if it still stands. I think he was like the winningest player in college basketball at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to go with a six-man, right?
Yeah.
I think you got to go with none other than my guy, one of my guys I looked up to, and who I gave buckets in the NBA to, and he gave me buckets certainly. JJ Redick.
Okay, yeah, I like that team. Defensively, really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Who would be your 5 and your 6 man?
My 5 and 6 man, I think I would go Jay Will,
Mm-hmm.
JJ, Grant,
Mm-hmm.
Leitner at the 4,
Mm-hmm.
Elton at the 5.
Okay.
And then I think I'm gonna steal one from my guy Ryan Kelly and put Dunleavy off the bench.
Ooh.
So he can get a little 2, 3, 4 action in there.
Dunleavy. He was another one, man, playing against him in the league. He was a tough guard because he could really shoot the basketball. And there's guys you find a lot of like this in the league. He was one of the toughest to guard because he could really shoot the basketball, but he would never sit still. It's kind of like JJ.
Mm-hmm.
But JJ wouldn't like go to the basket as much. But man, bro, you turn your head, and Dwayne Wade was like this too. You turn your head for a split second, and you look back, and all you see is like nothing. And
space.
he's cut you over here. Now he's running off and shooting, or he's cut you back door, and he was a really good player, man.
Yeah. All right, G. I appreciate the time. Let you get back to work.
Yes, sir.
Actually, go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you do for anybody listening that might be in Charlotte.
Yeah, man. So me and my wife started our own real estate firm. It's called Henderson Ventures. If you can see it clearly, it's no mistake that I wore this shirt today. We're a full service real estate agency. We do development, investment opportunities as well. And, I come from a real estate family. Both my parents, real estate agents. When I was growing up, my mom still does it. My sister's an agent now. That's just kind of what we do.
Yeah.
And I've always been invested in real estate throughout my basketball career, but wanted to kind of be on the other side of it, kind of find the projects.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been my thing. My wife's a tiger, man. She's bought and sold in the luxury market for the last 6-7 years, and that's kind of what she does. And so we're here trying to build that team, bring other agents here that do the same thing. And so we're almost 1.5 years, 2 years in now. So we're in Piedmont Row in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's where I spend most of my time if I'm not on the golf course.
Cool. Y'all heard it here. If you're in Charlotte listening, you need some real estate services, call up my boy G Hendo. He'll take care of you. All right, Gerald, I think I've taken up quite enough of your time. I appreciate it. Good, sir.
You got it, man. This was fun.
Yeah. Talk to you soon.
Later.